BAS stand for? Hey, everybody, welcome to the Robot Roundtable. Today we've got Colby Burcham from BAS Turf. We've got Isaac Lloyd from Michigan Robots. We're going to be talking about a lot of things. We hope you find it interesting. But first, we're going to let Colby introduce himself. Colby, just go ahead and tell him what you want him to know about yourself and your business. And then, Isaac, it'll be your turn.
Yeah, I'm Colby. I'm with BAS. We're kind of based out of North Carolina, but personally, I'm in the Plains area. I live in Kansas. Um, we kind of all started with Opmo, and then when Opmo fell apart, that's how we all got this relationship with each other, and we just kind of migrated our own separate ways. But I think this is a great opportunity just to kind of do what I kind of envisioned what Opmo was going to be, was kind of to tell the truth about products. Not be mean, but just give like an accurate description of the real world problems and how to solve them. Um, Consequently, I've kind of moved more towards commercial turf over the last couple of years because I think that's where the market is kind of the hottest. You're gonna have more expensive equipment in the commercial space, so that's kind of where the technology I think is a little bit better, a little bit better margins. So, but I still do dabble a little bit in the residential, so I still think I have some good information to give there.
Yeah, I'm Isaac with Michigan Robots, based out of California. Just kidding, but uh, but yeah, similar to Colby, I think this for me is um, it's about getting quality information out to consumers. So I'm transitioning as from an engineer to sales, and that's been a bit of a interesting journey. Um, and one conclusion I came to was, you know, yeah, it's up to the consumer to make the ultimate choice, but it's our responsibility to have high quality information to be able to make a confident recommendation to people. And if we're not able to say, buy this mower, this is the one for you, and persuade them um, that it is the right one for them, then we do them a disservice, um, because we can help make their lives better. You know, and the same logic applies. If something's not in the best interest of somebody, we can confidently recommend that they hold out another year or go with a different brand, or uh, whatever the case may be. So yeah, I'm pretty passionate about following through on that ideal of helping consumers out. So I'm excited to hopefully be able to share some insight and get some insight, I think, from Colby as well, who's occupying a different segment of the market.
All right. Colby, you primarily work with Crest, Sunseeker, and Husqvarna, correct?
Yeah, and FJD, I would say. Yeah.
Okay.
And a kind of a specialized product called Turftronic that's really just for like sports turf and golf courses.
Okay. I want to focus on Husqvarna for just a second because I know a lot of consumers, residential especially, know the Husqvarna name, have seen it. They started the wire in the ground system years and years ago, and they've kind of been always there from the beginning. They've always kind of been looked at as kind of a rock style solid company that's been there and that's going to be there. One of the things that I have heard, tell me if these conceptions that I have are correct. They're easily worked on as far as the ability for a homeowner or somebody that's got a little technical knowledge to replace a part on it.
Oh yeah, I would say they're probably the easiest mower to work on for sure. Like there's
Okay.
like you can't. It's very hard to even screw it up because the tips, the plugs, are the shape of the plug, so you can't even plug a wrong one into the wrong one.
Okay. Um, I guess it's been 2 years since kind of RTK has kind of come in. Since then, it looks like as the RTK has come in, that they have somehow managed to fumble badly the reputation that they had, and didn't get into the space not only fast enough, but the technology is not that good as far as the money that you're paying to a company that kind of everybody sees as one of the leaders in the industry.
Yeah,
Would you
I mean,
say
I'll
that?
just say this: like, I was pretty disappointed when the Nira came out and they reintroduced the wire option back into it. I think that kind of tells you everything you need to know about
Dude,
the Husqvarna right there.
I was laughing when I was at the trade show, I forget which one, and they were talking about, I was like, so what do you have for innovations? And they're like, well, we've combined wired technology with wireless. And so now we can do, GPS denied territories. We just revert back to the wired. And I'm like, man, you guys are really, that's really a stretch to call that an innovation. But I'm sure the project managers and the marketing team loved it.
Now,
They were trying to spin it as a positive for sure.
Yeah.
um, now
Sorry, I
earlier
don't mean to crap on your brand.
earlier this year they released an all-wheel drive model, which is basically a repackaging of their wired all-wheel drive unit. What did they do? Just put an RTK receiver on it and say, this is our new mower. Is that what they did? And they still have
Yeah,
that one all-wheel drive unit.
yeah, essentially, yeah. They just put the RTK receiver on kind of on the rear part of it, and it became a. Now that the pricing, I think got a little better on that. Because when that first came out, it was pretty expensive. Even just the wired unit, I think it was pushing like 6,000. Um,
Yes.
to me, I think that it's kind of the classic case of just over engineered. Like I think it just does a little under an acre, like 0.8 acres, where I go get a Sunseeker that I think performs better on hills and slopes that does 3 acres for $4,000.
Now it doesn't seem like they market aggressively. Is that something I'm pulling?
Which company, Husqvarna or Sunseeker?
Husqvarna. Husqvarna.
Um,
It doesn't. You
yeah, I
don't
think
see
I
that.
think I think Husqvarna's kind of done what I've done. I think they've kind of transitioned more to the commercial space. Like I think that's where they're kind of investing their
So they
efforts.
don't. They're one of these companies that don't even want to fool really with residential. It's an option if somebody just absolutely wants to buy one because they've got to have a Husqvarna. But basically, they're not. Their focus is elsewhere.
Well, I think in terms of residential, it does really well in Europe and Australia and places like that. So I think it's definitely worth it for them. I just think the American market, they're focusing more on the commercial side of things as a company. They lost a ton of dealer support. I think that says a lot too. Um, so I don't know if they have that network, a strong network as they once had, that they
Okay.
can rely
Well,
on.
so I can say I don't know if this is a rag on Husqvarna or Segway, but they have definitely poached a lot of dealer reps. Segway, that is. So you'll see a lot of those same reps now at at their rival.
Yeah, absolutely.
What
Makes a lot of
Husqvarna's going
sense.
to what Husqvarna's going to do to fill the gap, I don't know because I don't personally rep them, but
Okay. One of the things when we talk about dealer support from the manufacturers is it looks like that all of the manufacturers are more interested in a quick e-commerce sale, and they're willing to pay these people to do these review videos and give them an affiliate link, and then after they get their $200 for their selling the mower off their great video, they're never to be seen again, and then you get calls because something goes wrong with the mower, and the person that made the money on the original sale is long gone and has absolutely no idea. They're reviewing little ninja grills now and kitty litter. Um, what do you think?
robotic kitty litter. Like that's what
Yeah,
we need.
yeah,
I saw one of those the other day. I thought about getting one. I hate
yeah.
changing cat litter.
Get rid of the cat. That's my solution.
Well,
uh,
I got daughters, so that would have
oh
repercussions.
yeah, that wouldn't work. So, what are your all's thoughts on this affiliate link system, the promo code system, and then there's another thing that really kind of irritates me. And if I was buying one, I'd be completely pissed. It's kind of like when you go into a store and blondes get 50% off today. It's like you just pick a group of people and give them a discount because they have a certain color hair. is these constant price changes. How would a dealer ever keep up with that? You're giving promo codes, affiliate links. The dealer's got the consumer is getting a promo code somewhere. Then they expect the dealer, to honor that promo code. What are your all's thoughts about the pricing system that the manufacturers have right now? Do you think it's healthy long term?
I'll let you take that one first, Colby, because I have a lot of remarks.
Probably not, but I think sometimes I think the manufacturers are just, there's so many of them out there. I think they just they're thinking they just need to get over this hump and be the ones that survive the short term and then figure it out. I mean, a lot of these companies are probably the least forward-thinking people you've ever seen. They can hardly deal with the problems they have now, let alone anticipate problems that are coming. So they're probably just worried about getting as much money as they can just to keep cash flow going.
Just to be
would be my
specific,
guess.
just to be specific there for a second, when you say the problems they're encountering, what do you think are the 3 or 4 major problems that you are talking about that they're facing?
The manufacturers or the
Yeah,
consumers?
the manufacturers. What do you think the 4 major problems or 3 that they have are that they have to work through to be the winner in this market?
Well, I think the biggest one, which is kind of weird to me, is the European market's huge. Like they sell a ton of robots in the European market, and then the United States market's relatively small, but has more potential. But every robot's pretty much built for a European market and not for an American market. So it's kind of like no one's really thinking about, hey, what robot's going to do good in the American market as opposed to the
Where,
European.
okay, when you say it does better in the European market, what's the difference?
Smaller yards,
Okay.
just different mindset. Like I think a lot of these, like I don't think Europeans mind going and resetting things as often. Like it's not a big deal to them. They're a little more laid back than us Americans. Like you get some people that have to go reset their robot mower once a week, and they get irritated and upset about it, which is just kind of the reality. I mean, if you're only resetting it once a week, you're pretty in good shape, really. Um, so I'd like to see just more all-terrain kind of mowers, a little more robust mowers, maybe bigger mowers because American lawns are bigger than European lawns.
Okay. Go ahead with your thought about the
Well,
price.
specifically with the affiliate marketing, it's unsurprising. Well, there's, like I said, several thoughts. With the affiliate marketing, it should come as no surprise that they do things like that. I mean, they're trying to make sales, and so I think the dealer that gets annoyed by it or offended or like they've been betrayed is living in a little bit of a bubble. Um, because the manufacturers want to move products. And sure, they would prefer not to conflict with their dealers if the dealers represent a significant percentage of their volume. Um, Across the industry right now, I think in North America, and this is wildly different in Europe, in North America, dealers represent a very small percentage of sales. Um, and so our voices are not as closely listened to. And then now there are some exceptions. I think Husqvarna would be one. Segway certainly has gone way out of their way, above and beyond. I think they have like 3 times as many dealers because they're very proactive and dealer friendly. Like they really value that, you know, local support aspect of it above anyone else I've seen. But it's a competition. They're each manufacturer is trying to get market share, and if they can get it by having affiliate links and sending it out to 100 influencers, they'll do it. I do agree with your point though, Myron. With a dealer, you buy through a dealer directly. Um, the dealer's on the hook for supporting you. So yeah, good luck calling up, you know, an influencer trying to get help with a warranty claim or getting your robot unstuck or if it gets stolen, finding out where it is. Um, yeah, you won't even have their phone number. Well, you'll get $50 off your initial sale, um, but that's about it. And then, shoot, I had so many thoughts that I was spinning through. I only got through one, and now I'm like, wait, what else was I going to say?
Well, let's move on to Crest for a second. Colby, you work with Crest. What do you think? I know from my limited experience just finding out through Opmo what they were about, it looks like a very expensive foreign mower with an RTK system that is really not okay for our market, being the 25. What was their 25 miles to 40 miles on the RTK station, and everybody uses the same RTK station? And do you
Well, hey,
think?
if Colby, I'm much more ignorant about Crest, so let me give my ignorant opinion about them, and then you can correct me and like close out with some actual intelligence. But my impression of Crest is I'm not hugely impressed. I really like their headless RTK unit, or the RTK head on the rover that you can actually take off and do your mapping. I think that's brilliant and wonderful, and there's no reason not to for the other manufacturers other than design considerations. I find their lack of cameras to be a symptom of their lack of vision and understanding of the types of problems they're going to encounter in the real world. So my opinion is their engineering is either lacking vision or constrained by corporate mandates, and so that's why we see a lack of extra sensors on it that I think would add a lot of value for the customers. But for wide open spaces, golf courses, it seems like they're targeted at. Sure, it's probably optimized for that pretty well.
Yeah, I will say they do have a V-Slam coming out, trickling out over the next couple of years. We'll see how that does. I think that's definitely an absolute must. I will say they're probably the most dealer-friendly company because you can't even buy Crest online. Like you can only buy it through a dealer. So I mean that's a really good aspect of Crest. I think build quality-wise, they're probably the best by a wide margin. It really feels like a
Well, how do
commercial. Like
you?
it feels like a Milwaukee product. Really, is it kind of how? I mean, that's a great compliment I think to give. Like it just feels robust. It feels heavy. Like it feels sturdy.
Yeah, I suppose that's that could be a positive way to frame it. Other companies ship with cameras that don't actually do anything,
Yeah.
except give you the illusion that one day it will come, and maybe it will, maybe it won't. So at least they're honest in that regard about what they're trying to tackle right now. The build quality, though, I thought you said Husqvarna was the most easily um, maintained or serviced. So how do you differentiate build quality and serviceability?
Oh yeah. So I mean, if you need to replace a part on the Husqvarna, it's easy to open. Yeah, there's tons of air in there. There's no tight spaces. Um, Crest is kind of along that vein. It's a little more problematic to work on, but it's not a huge deal. But I'm just talking about like the quality of plastic, the quality of tires, the quality of motors. I think is all superior in the Crest units. Like they have they had the in-hub wheel motors. I think are really nice. They have a nice kind of thick tire that doesn't seem to slip or get stuck as often as some of the other brands. Um, it's just one of those things you kind of have to hold. Like I said, it's like holding like if like Milwaukee built a robot mower, it would feel like a Milwaukee robot mower. Like when you hold a Milwaukee power tool, like it just has a feel to it. It's kind of hard to describe, but that's how I kind of would describe Crest.
So if I'm a commercial customer, what are my main options that you would be pitching me? Let's say a golf course, because everybody seems obsessed with golf courses.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely where a lot of it's headed. I mean, I always start with probably Crest, Sunseeker, and FJD. FJD, I don't know about a golf course. It would have to be the right golf course. maybe kind of more of a rural golf course, not a country club type golf course. Um, but I really like the arms. I really like what FJD's doing. They have the vision, they have the lidar. You can actually remote access. So similar to Yarbo, you can remote access the product and drive it from a distance. You can adjust the maps from a distance, so you can actually go on there on your computer and move the points on the FJD.
You are
It's just
not the
bigger.
you're not the first person I've heard to speak highly of FJD. Is there somewhere that viewers could go to learn, well, myself included, to learn more about what they offer? I suppose they could call you.
You know what's weird? Yeah, call me. What's weird about FJD is like it's kind of good. It's kind it's kind of one of those what's your best quality sometimes is your worst quality. It's like they move so quickly and they update things so quickly that it's good that they're matriculating and going forward, but at the same time it's like it's hard to get any information out there because it changes in 3 weeks because there's a new feature or there's a new way to do things or there's a new now you can adjust it to like if you want like on a soccer field you have your 60/40 lines, so just one of your lines is thinner than the other one, so now you can kind of like adjust it so it's going the same direction multiple passes, so you're making it wide. So if it's a 25-inch cut, you go over the same direction twice on the alternating white and dark lines, you can get a 50-inch stripe by it like adjusting and going down the stripe a different way.
Right, right.
um,
That's
so
pretty cool.
there's features like that. I mean, it's just
That's
super
actually really
efficient.
cool.
It's got a great quality of cut to it. Like that was what really impressed me was the cut quality. Because it's got a solid blade. It's basically like a 25-inch Honda push mower, just on a zero-turn kind of platform. Um, I've got them on some residential properties that are just big residential properties, and it does pretty well. Like I would say, like the sweet spot is like just a wide open sports field. But it does fine around trees. It's just not as navigable around trees as some of the smaller units, just because of how big it is. If that makes sense. Like I'd almost describe it as like a cute. Like they did a good job of designing it because it's like a cute mower. Like it's not an intimidating size like some of the other bigger ones are, to where if that thing's bearing down on you, you get kind of nervous. This one's kind of like that right size where it's big, but it kind of has like it doesn't intimidate you.
Colby, I want to go back to something you said earlier about the platforms, all-wheel drive and the two-wheel drives. So it seems like there is a happy area where on one hand you've got all-wheel drives tearing up grass because they're almost too aggressive, and then on the other hand you've got two-wheel drives that don't have enough traction and they get stuck and they spin out and they're useless. Where I live, a two-wheel drive is not even an option for most people. And there's a limited amount of all-wheel drive or what we would call high traction bots like a Yarbo or a Limo. So in your opinion, what is the best platform? Is it Trax? Is it, like a Luba where you got, four-wheel drive basically or all-wheel drive? I don't know if you count the Omni wheels in the front, whatever you want. What, in your opinion,
Yeah.
is the best for the grass, whatever you call that? What is the best for the grass as far as not getting torn up and not getting stuck?
I would say. I mean, I would say that the 435 from Husqvarna does a really good job. There's some negatives to it, but it's not the ability to handle stuff. I wouldn't put that as one of the negatives about it. Um, Honestly, this year I've really become kind of a Sunseeker fan. Like I played with them last year and I didn't like them at all, mainly because of the AI features. But they really got that figured out this year. And I think just in terms of design, like the two front drive tires and the single motorized caster in the back is brilliant. I mean, you're using one less motor, so you can start bring battery. You can turn on an absolute dime because it's three wheels. I mean, anything with three wheels is going to be able to turn sharper than anything with four wheels. Like where Lubas have a tendency to tear up things, these Sunseekers just have really done a great. I mean, I put them in places where I never would put another robot mower, and they've done very well. The only thing I think the biggest difference between a 435 and a Sunseeker is I do like how the 435 has a higher clearance. The tires are a little taller, and so you get like around. And I haven't run into a whole bunch of clearance problems with the Sunseeker, but I could definitely see in situations where you would run into clearance issues with it.
What if you're mowing? What if you're mowing 2 or 3 acres? That that 435, that's not an option.
Yeah, oh yeah, exactly. It only does 0.8, so yeah,
You'd be
you'd be
looking
kind of
at
in trouble there. But again,
five,
like you got,
10,000,
yeah, you got,
15 grand.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, the
What do you
Sunseeker I
think of the
think is like,
tracks? What do you think of the track models, in the pushing down of the grass? There's a lot of this. How do we get the grass up till we cut? So we cut it, but yet how do we get around the yard with the mowing system? Whether it's tracks, because tracks do mash down grass.
there's a
Uh,
there's a zero turn platform called the ATAS. I don't know if you've seen that before. That
no, I
uses tracks instead of the it has like a triangle track system um
tank tank style.
instead of yeah. And I think these manufacturers take a deep look at that, the mechanics behind that, because that's a pretty sweet mower. Um, one thing that's always surprised me. I don't know if this is like a legal problem that robot mowers have, but why do none of the cutting decks extend beyond the wheels? Has always kind of been a goofy. Like, you think that'd be kind of obvious thing that you'd want, like you'd want your mowing deck to go out beyond where your wheels could go, because then if you lay the grass down, it's not as big of a deal because you're cutting beyond the tires.
Yeah,
Um,
well, with the Yarbo and the Limo, your deck's out front, so you would think you make it as big as the tracks or whatever. I just saw a
yeah,
track model the other day where the deck is inside of the tracks. I'm like, well, that's not very brilliant. I mean,
yeah, I know exactly. I don't know why they just don't bump and make it just a little bigger to extend outside the tracks. I think they'd have a little more success doing it that way. And you get closer to edges too. Like, I mean, would you even really need a trimmer if the deck extended beyond and you could get closer to things?
huh?
Like,
Well, I think you're
I don't know how Luba does it, because I'll have some companies tell me like, you can't go border to border with a cut because there has to be like a gap uh, for the regulations. But I'm like, well, Luba goes edge to edge pretty much, but they have that little guardrail, I guess, underneath there that allows them to do that.
Okay, did you see where Luba is now announcing they got LiDAR on the Luba Mini?
I did see that. Yeah, I love lidar. It's expensive, but I think long term is a better solution because it operates at night. The don't.
No, we lost Colby. Isaac, you got any thoughts till he comes back?
yeah, I got a lot of thoughts.
Well, let's hear him.
But he's back.
There he is.
No, one thing I just wanted to add on the Sunseeker, like you like literally, at least theoretically, with the Sunseeker 3-wheel drive, one of them articulating or freely rotate, not like powered rotating instead of just a freewheeling caster, you can theoretically achieve zero uh, tearing on the grass. You're always you can spin on a dime and not have any tires rubbing the ground. Luba's got all-wheel drive, front 2 wheels being Omni wheels, so theoretically those aren't tearing, but then half the weight is on the back wheels. Their center of mass is roughly right in the middle of the mower, so the back ones certainly um, are likely to tear, and they do in reality. Same thing with the track drives. So yeah, Sunseeker is really onto something, I think, with that 3-wheel drive articulating caster wheel,
Yeah.
active, powered
Now,
caster wheel.
I will say about Sunseeker, they have some app and connection issues that I hope they resolve. I mean, they're not they're not game breaker or a deal breaker type issues, but they could definitely do a little bit better job on that end of it. But in terms of the hardware, I mean, they're pretty much going in the right direction there.
So what's the consumer to do, Colby? Like what direction should people take? Like, I mean, is this like a wait and see type situation? Like we're gonna have the weak and the old and the sick get eaten by the predators. So where does that leave the consumer who's tired of mowing and or excited by tech? Like, what is there a safe option now?
Well, I think that's where the name of the Husqvarnas and the Cresses come around. Like those companies aren't going anywhere, so they're always going to be. Uh, you're always going to get some sort of support, from those two companies. I'd probably put Sunseeker and Segway like in that category, maybe a notch below those two, but I'd definitely put them. I mean, Sunseeker's a huge company. I don't think people know that about Sunseeker, but they're kind of famous for white labeling tools, so like a
Oh yeah,
Cobalt tools.
they got
Um,
manufacturing. I think in China,
yeah,
India,
yeah. So
Germany, like all over.
yeah, they're a multi-billion-dollar company, so they're not going anywhere either. Now, just because you haven't heard of them doesn't mean they're not a big company. And Segway, I'd put them in the same category. Like they seem like they're going to have staying power. Um, so I think with those four brands, you're pretty safe. Everything else, it's just it's kind of risky because you might have a brick in a couple of years if that company goes out of business.
Okay, Colby, I got a question for you. Dream, Roborock, the Limos of the world, the Yarbos of the world, the Lubas of the world, and all these other companies that are jumping in. Is it just me, or does it look like these are throwaway robots that when the warranty period is over, like your washing machine from Lowe's, it's a throwaway item because it's not worth fixing?
Yeah, I mean, I think unfortunately, a lot of the brands are kind of in that place. Like they're probably only about as good as what the warranty is. I mean, after the warranty's up, I mean, these things put. I mean, to the company's credit, like it can get frustrating, but when you sit there, I was looking on the Husqvarna the other day when I had changed two caster tires on it, and I was a little frustrated. And I go out there and I pull up the auto check, and I was like, "There's 8,000 hours on this machine,
Yeah.
and not even 2 years, a little under 2 years. The warranty was almost up, so it's a little under 2 years." And I was like, "Man, that is a lot. 8,000 is a lot of working hours. I mean, a mower, an engine mower, if you're getting three out of it, you're sitting pretty." Now, obviously, they're more efficient, so you're not going to put that many hours on it. Uh,
Yeah,
but
that's
yeah,
the
I don't think
deceiving
people
part.
realize how many hours. I mean, things are going 24/7. They are putting hours on them.
Yeah, I've heard that about Husqvarna. Um, they have high hour counts, and of course, it's like you said, the hours are higher than you would have on a mower because you're mowing a little 10 inches, 12 inches at a time, depending on the overlap, and it's 24/7. But it is amazing what the robots are doing. But you still have to look at what does this thing cost me, and if you're paying $5,000 for or $4,500 for the biggest luba that they make that covers up to 3 acres, I guess, if you can actually keep it running that much. Um, you amortize that out, and that's not very good as far as if it only lasts 3 years compared to a regular gas powered mower.
Yeah, and I think that's something that we gotta keep in. What the? Can you hear me? Is my audio good?
Yeah, I can hear you. We lost Colby there.
Okay. Yeah, I'm moving outside, so I turned off the camera. Um, but yeah, I mean that goes into what we recommend to consumers. Um, do you want to buy something that might be um, worthless in 2 years? And reasonably, how far can you expect the unit to last beyond the warranty period? So extremely relevant. I mean, one piece of advice that one might give, not saying this is the advice, but it would just be buy the cheapest mower and hang in there for another 2 years when your options will be much more clear. But then you're stuck with a cheaper mower that might fail and whatnot. Or if you have a larger acreage, it's not going to work for you. But that's why I'm.
Well, the thing that gets me about like all these mower brands is like you'll look at like they'll have like three models, size models. Like all three models are exactly the same,
Yeah.
except the battery is a little bigger, or the amperage to charge the battery is a little more.
Yeah.
And there's like a $1,500 price difference in between them.
Yep.
It's like this is stupid. This is just
And the
like
consumer looks at that and goes, the only thing difference is it's software locked.
yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah.
it's and then people, you'd be better off to buy two smaller mowers than the big one. And I'm talking about, we're all talking about Luba here, so we might as well just say it. The bot, it's the exact same bot, and you have to know that that bigger mower has got the exact same hardware on it. So if it's covering twice the acres, it's going to wear out twice as fast. But yet it has the same warranty as the smaller unit that's going to cover less ground. And I mean, it's intellectually insulting to think that that mower is going to last. I mean, it's not going to happen.
Oh, hello.
Hello, we lost you again. I can hear you, but I can't see you. Colby? Colby, you there? Have you worked with Yarbo at all? You boys need to get some better internet connections. Well, we are waiting. Colby, you there?
Oh, can you hear me?
You there? Gotcha. Do you have any experience? Ah, there he goes again. I can hear you, Colby. Colby. Isaac.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. I do. You have experience with Yarbo, correct? Yes, Isaac.
Hey, can you put my actual camera feed up?
There you go. Is that you? Now I got two of them.
Well, drop the other one. I'm outside right now.
I
The
can't.
one in the yard is nothing. Go.
Colby.
Well,
There's Colby.
Sorry, I keep losing audio for some reason. I can't hear anybody.
Okay. So you have experience with Yarbo, right?
That's yeah, but it's probably my least experience out of all of them. But
Okay.
I do have a unit. Yeah.
Have you been able to keep it working?
No. So that's kind of like my biggest beef with Yarbo is like everything else I use, like it just fires up right away. 95% of the time. But with Yarbo, it seems like you have to fiddle with Wi-Fi or fiddle with the data center, or yeah, it just doesn't. It's just not as clean. And then it gets pretty hot here, so um, I would think they'd have, because the battery chemistry they have with the standard battery is more for colder weather. So
I
you'd
was just
think
about to
that
ask about that. Have you had trouble with it overheating? Because last
yeah, yeah,
spring I did a video about the LFP batteries and NMC batteries, and obviously it's a snowblower, and I think the mower was kind of an afterthought, but there's more money there. And my personal speculation is that next spring you're probably going to see something like a Yarbo Light that's smaller, that's nimbler, that they don't have to worry about the software for, two different functions. And I think you're going to see a mower only that's a lot smaller, kind of like I think
a limo.
if you took a limo and painted it black and yellow, people would probably believe it's a little Yorba.
Probably Yarbo. I mean, Yarbo does great marketing. You know, I get more calls for Yarbo than I do anything else. I mean, they've got that down. Um, it's definitely a product people want for sure. I would just like to see it work consistently first.
Do they want it or do they think they want it based on the ads? It's
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Of course,
my
yeah.
dad always said it's better to want something you don't have than to have something you don't want.
Yeah, that's true. I think Oscar Wilde said there's only two tragedies in life: not getting what you want and getting what you want.
Yeah, it's
So,
kind of like that
I think,
pretty girl in high
yeah,
school that you'll see 15 years later, and you're like, "Whoa, that's not the
yeah,
same person."
yeah, yep.
So, would you? And I'm just gonna. If you don't want to answer this, don't feel obligated. Do you feel that the marketing is intentionally deceptive?
Oh, I mean, I think they have good intentions, I guess, but I always felt that way at Husqvarna when they had the wired units. They said it was GPS, navigated. And it was like, it never really was GPS. I mean, they could claim that all day, but when you say GPS navigated, people have a different thing in their mind, and that wasn't what Husqvarna was talking about. I know that's not what you're talking about, but yeah, sometimes they'll use it, and I don't know if it's just language barriers or because I'll get that with like FJD, like they'll have something. There's like a mode to where you can drive it, and it takes like either auto path plans or if like you're in a tight area, you can drive it in a really specific path, and it'll follow that really specific path every time. But it's called something really. If you just call it like teach and repeat, like that would make a lot more sense. But they
Okay.
call it something completely different that doesn't make any sense, and you never know what the feature is if you didn't ask somebody.
Have you seen the mowers that they're fleet mowers, and you unload like five or six of them at a property, and they mow, and then the
Oh yeah,
landscape
yeah, yeah.
picks them
The
up?
the,
Do
the
you
next
think that's
mouse.
where things are? What are those? Those are side. There's no side is the big zero turn. Then there is that next? No, it's not next mow.
Yeah, it's next
Howie,
mo.
it's next mow. I
Oh,
don't
next
think.
mo the little ones.
Yeah, next mow is Howie Mandel starting to promote those. But there's one, but it looks like where it might be headed is five or six mowers. The landscaper drops them off, drops the map from the cloud. Do you think you're going to see that on golf courses too, where it's a fleet of mowers? They come in and they mow real fast and take them off and either just stick them in the clubhouse instead of having
Uh,
one mapped out area for one mower.
Man, this is a huge can of worms. We could probably do a whole show on this because I have a landscaping company too. Um, just for brevity's sake, I'll say golf courses absolutely, landscaping no. No, I don't think manufacturers understand what landscapers need like at all.
If
Like
you were a land,
I don't think they understand our relationship to our mowers
have you
at
seen the
all.
new Xmark um, autonomous zero turns that are like 60, 70,000 bucks?
Yeah, and all it is like on a cheap uh, walk behind.
Yeah.
Like it's not even on there. Yeah, well, not even on one of their zero term platforms. Yeah, I mean those things just don't. I mean there might be some companies that can make sense of it financially, but those things are so far away from making financial sense. It's not even funny. Like
Okay.
I would pay a guy $20 an hour all day to sit on a $15,000 mower. That can that guy can do so much more for me seasonally with snow removal and everything else. Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense financially to
Okay.
automate.
What about the safety part of it? Because you think about a big zero turn. That I mean, there. I mean, okay. So maybe you can answer this question. One of the big questions that all of the people have is why are there so many screw ups with the GPS system? You've got no go zone violations, boundaries being blown. You've seen mowers in ponds, mowers out on airfields and on runways, mowers down the street, and it looks like the GPS systems are just not good enough. But yet they're good enough for tractors. really expensive tractors.
Yeah, well, I think you get that. I think when you're buying a $500,000 combine and there's a $30,000 GPS system embedded in there, like it, yeah, what's $30,000 on top of 500,000? Um, but if you put $30,000 in a robot mower, now you have a $35,000
Yeah.
robot mower cutting your lawn. Uh, that's kind of the answer to lidar. Like the really really good lidar, I mean, is fractions of a millimeter accurate, but good luck getting on that on a little robot, cost efficient wise.
Well, what do you do with the lidar when it's out in a big open field and you don't have the points and all to measure and get your position?
Um, yeah, I mean, I think that's where you would rely on the RTK GPS redundancy.
Okay.
Um, would be on
What
stuff
can
like
be
that.
done to make the RTK more reliable? And I've heard people talk about multipath errors. If you're beside a big calm body of water that acts as a reflector, big metal buildings, is that something that Hey, if you have those things, this just might not work for you for a good long time.
Yeah, and that's kind of like what I like about Crest is they use 4G to transmit their corrections data. 4G is a pretty strong signal. Um, I like that about Sunseeker too. They're using 2.5 gigahertz, which is a nice low signal that's going to get you penetration through objects pretty well. It doesn't transmit data as quickly, but it's gonna be a more reliable uh, wavelength. So I think it's just that. I think, and then you go over to Europe and 800 millihertz or eight is okay to use. I think I got that right. Yeah, and 900 is what their military and governments are operate off of. And over here it's the opposite. Our military and government operates off 800 millihertz. So that's no, can't access that. Whereas 900 is okay over here, but 800 is probably a better signal. So
Well, I've noticed that when you go to Segway's Facebook group page, there's hardly ever any mention of problems with GPS, RTK, software updates. Occasionally you'll see it, but you just do not see. And I've heard that Segway makes their own parts, they make them in house. And a lot of companies like Yarbo, Limo, Momotion buy off the shelf parts in China.
probably, and I think Segway's been doing autonomous stuff for a long time. I think that envisioned stuff for a long time. So I think that kind of they're kind of culling from that the experiences with other products to help with the robot mowers because they do seem in terms of AI like they really seem to be kind of ahead of everybody else a little bit. Everybody else is kind of playing catch up, in my opinion, with
Okay,
Segway
so
in terms of AI.
I'm going to ask you a couple important questions for the consumers. If you have a smaller yard, an acre or under, what are you recommending? And you don't know all the circumstances. What are you recommending on the average smaller yard? And then what would you recommend to somebody on a bigger yard, even if it's to use a gas powered mower? If you're talking 2 or 3 acres, and you want your grass cut, you don't care about being a beta tester. You don't care. You don't want to hear about problems. You want your grass mowed, and you want to not be involved in it for a short. You want to, you want to get in, get done. Don't want to deal with the nonsense. What are you recommending? Small yards, large yards.
Small yards, it's kind of hard to beat. You're talking about small, flat, and easy to mow. It's hard to beat the Navamo for those conditions.
Okay,
I'd
so
say,
you
yeah,
just
I put Sunseeker there. I will say, I think Cress, there's a lot of people out there that'll say, if I want a robot mower to mow my lawn, I want it to look better than what I can do. And I think Cress gives you the best finished look of all the mowers on the market. Like, it really stripes, especially the 100 series that are more for residential. It really, really stripes up a yard. Like, it really pops it. Like, you can tell right away. Like, it's a Crest mower that mows. Like, I can tell right away if a Segway is mowing someone's yard because it doesn't quite give that nice appearance, finished look to it, but it will get the job done. Sunseeker is kind of weird. Some yards it really stripes up well, and some yards it doesn't stripe really hardly at all.
Is that just type of grass?
Oh, so, excuse me?
Is that just type of grass?
I mean, I would say could be, because I mean, obviously your northern grasses are going to stripe a lot, but I'm in a fescue market, so all my like I don't know, a Sunseeker will stripe up a fescue lawn really well, and sometimes it won't stripe up a fescue lawn really well. It just I don't know. I guess maybe I don't have enough data to say why that.
All right. What about large? Oh, there he goes again.
Oh,
We'll check in on
back.
Isaac out here. Man, he's still playing with his mower. I don't know why. Are you back, Colby?
Can't hear you again.
I can hear you. There you are. No, there he went. I don't know what he's doing. Well, we're waiting patiently. Well, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to wrap it up. This is the Robot Ripper. Thank you for joining us for another Robot Roundtable. We'll be back with more. Keep checking us out.